what's up? So I guess the thumbnail worked. What is the best setup? A typical question that I usually get as a YouTuber and a lot of people around, like a lot of techs, a lot of people. A very typical setup is, for example, when I'm very much in the MTW community, I always get asked, yo, what is the best setup for my MTW? I just wanted to shoot straight. And always inside I get kinda happy, and I get kinda sad, and I get kinda mad. Because it's an irritating question. Because I wish I could just give you a cookie cutter answer and say, this is the best setup, nothing is better on the market. That's just not how it is. It's not as simple as that. Like, it really isn't as simple. I thought about this a lot, how I could talk about it, how I could add my 2 cents to the whole thing, because I didn't want to make a 50-minute video, 30-minute video talking about just this subject. If I say it like this, you buy a new car, and you like driving cars. You bought like a expensive car, whatever, it doesn't matter, just a car. And you tell the guy, I want the best wheels. The best wheels in the world, I want the best wheels on the car. And the guy's like, okay, but what do you need them for? And you're gonna be like, what do you mean? I wanted to drive fast and I want to not slide off the road. I don't care, but he's gonna be like, but that's not how it works. Do you want to drive track? Do you want to drive like dirt? Do you want rally? What do you want to do? Do you want to like drive in the winters? But what do you want to do? It's like, well, can I just get something good? So like all around it's decent. It's like, well, there's all year tires, but they're not great. They're not really great. They're not really good at something. They're specific in like summer and winter tires. But it's not the best, it's okay. And if you understand where I'm going with this, there's no cookie cutter answer. And there never will be for what is the single best thing. Because there's a bunch of factors, especially when you have a HPA weapon like the MTW. Okay, since it's so easy to do a bunch of different things, and let's say there can be 9 different people. And when I say 9 different people, there's 9 different dwell settings on the MTW. Those 9 people can expect 9 different things from the gun, from the MTW. So already there, it's like, how am I gonna answer that? So the factors I think about, the first thing you need to answer yourself is, what do you want with your MTW, your AG, your HPA, what do you want? Doesn't matter. What do you want? Do you want R hub? Do you want flat hub? Like which hub type? C hub? It doesn't matter what it is. What do you want? How much maintenance are you willing to do on your gun? Like, you can just be like, yeah, I just want a gun. It's gonna run for like half a year. I mean, it depends how much you use it. And then I need to change the bucking. I don't care. I mean, some people say, I used my gun for like 3 years. I never changed the bucking. I'm like, well, how much do you use it? I mean, I couldn't run for 2 years with a bucking. I change my bucking twice a year because I have to, because I play so much. I shoot 400,000 BBs, 400,000 BBs in a year. Like, how much maintenance are you willing to put into it? So then for example, with MTW, we have the stock hop-up unit, and we have the Phoenix hop. Those 2 hop-up units are pretty different. So, which kind of hop-up unit are you planning to use? How much money do you want to put into it? What do you want out of it? That's the question again. Then you can be like, oh well, if it's the MTW, you can get the different hop-up arms. The different hop-up arms work for different things. For example, like I'm using the CNC MTW by Salient Industries. Salient, I think that's how you say it. There's 1.0, like that has like a metal knob on it. Like it doesn't have a knob, a metal bit. So it never breaks. I'm using green GNG. The stock hop-up or Phoenix with green GNG and the CNC 1.0 has just worked for me. It just freaking works. But then you're like, why does it work? What are you using? Well, then they come like, what BB weight are you using? Some people be like, oh, I want something that just works. It needs to shoot straight. I've heard people shooting 100 meters. Okay, 100 meters. Is that realistic? Is that effective range? Like, sure, I can shoot 100 meters. Let me turn the hop up all the way up and it shoots like a fucking boomerang. That's not the point. Like, think about it. Like, realistic. What do you want? Like, are you willing to spend the extra money? Like, if I When I bought my MTW, the first thing I did was I bought 32s and 36s. That's the only thing I ever used. I've never used anything else. I tried to CQ, that's a lie. I tried to CQB because there was some rules at some fields where I have to use like 0.28s, like 0.25s to 28s. I don't like it. It's not nice. It's not as precise. It's not as accurate. Like if you buy something really cool, like MTW, an expensive gun, like any expensive gun, like the Forge is like $900, like $900. You should also be willing to put in some good ammunition. Like back to the car thing. If you buy a Ferrari, you don't put fucking diesel in it. It's gonna fucking die and it's gonna break. Like you don't put shit gas in it. Like you put some good quality, you get some good oil, you get all the expensive stuff so it runs properly. Especially because it's a Ferrari, because it fucking breaks. Anyways, like think about what you want to put in it. Like so you have this thing. Like I'm gonna put it on the screen, I think. So you think about which hub type, which kind of maintenance are you willing to do? Which kind of hub arm are you trying to do? That also have to match with the bucking, like the hub type. Which hub up do you want to use? Are you gonna use a max? Are you gonna use a Provin? What are you gonna use? What are you willing to put in? BB weight. Then like, okay, the BB weight also kind of has to align with the role you're playing. You're like, what's the role? Well, in some countries you can play DMR, you play sniper, you play assault, you can play whatever you want. But if you're playing a, let's say a CQB, assault, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. Like you're like some low joules, like 1 joule. Maybe someone's saying, oh, I think you should use a whatever maple leaf degree, 250 million degrees, extremely hard rough bucking. Like that's not useful to you. So when you ask yourself the question, you should be like, how many joules / FPS am I shooting? Because that varies. Like it really affects your hop up. Like you're bucking. Like, and if you are hopping, I are hopped. Maybe use heavy BBs and high joules. It's great. Like, what do you want to do? Like, remember to think about the joules. Because let's say you play a DMR, 2.8 joules in Denmark. That's like DMR kind of thing. 2.8 joules, free BB weight. Let's say 2.8 joules with 0.43s. You're like, oh, this is sick. Someone told me to use, I don't know if it will fuck up. Let's say green GNG. Green GNG is what I'm using. Green GNG Winter Edition. It's really good for Denmark because the cold weather. Let's say you use it, like it's really soft. You're like 2.8 joules, a heavy ass BB. It's probably gonna, you're probably not gonna be able to shoot. The bucking is probably gonna fold. Like it's too high joules, too high velocity. It's not gonna work. Like that could be a factor. So some people be like, oh, why is my gun not shooting straight? It's not shooting 200 meters. I'm like, well, which bucking are you using? Is it fit for your setup? Like remember, there's no cookie cutter. You have to joules, BB weight. How much money are you willing to put into it? Like saying like the most expensive stuff is the best. That's also not true. Like I tested so many barrels. I think I tested like 7-8 brands, and the difference was so minimal. Like I went purely away from the stock barrel in the MTW because I could get it more air efficient with the 6.01. The accuracy didn't change much. A little bit, the groupings, maybe a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Like I shot so many times. I think I spent around 10-15,000 BBs on testing, like on just shooting targets like range targets. I think it was on 65 meters, 60 to 65 meters I was testing on, because that's what effective range is for the way I want to play. Like I can shoot way longer. You see my channel, I have like 100-meter shots, like down, like it's not down a hill, like a little bit down a hill. Like I have like typically 60 to 70, 80 meters on my channel. Is pretty normal. It's pretty normal shots. I can do that. Like a lot of people can do that with guns, but it's not effective range. Like effective range, you have to think, what is your role? Like let's say you're DMI, you're playing 2.8 joules, then 70, 80 meters should probably be effective range for you. Like that should be fine. That should be accurate on a body size. It's possible, but you need to have the right setups for the right things. When are you gonna ask yourself next time, what's the best setup for my gun? Like when you write a Facebook post, or when you write something, or when you ask a tech, please have a list, or like prepare yourself like, okay, I want to play this role. I want to be this amount of joules FPS. I want to use this kind of BBs. Stick to the same brand also. different brands can affect your barrel different ways. Like if you're using bio BBs, for example, which hop up are you planning to use? Like which type? Like can you call it type? Like R hop, flat hop, C hop, whatever. Different types. Which kind of maintenance are you willing to do? If you have these questions, it's easier to find a good solution for what fits you, because there's no, oh, this is the best solution in the entire world kind of thing. What about the weather? I have told someone the setup I'm playing, which is really good for cold setups, like green GNG 1.0 hop arm, etc, blah blah blah. It works really well. I played in, I think it was Indonesia, where it's like super humid, super hot. It didn't work very well because like it was so humid and so hot. Like the bucking gets very soft, like way softer than it already is because of the heat. There's so many factors. Remember to think about that when you set something up, because there's a lot of people I see on the MTW groups and like just Airsoft forums. They're like, oh, what is the best setup in the entire world? And I just looked at Reddit. There was someone who made a post. It was like the size of, I don't fucking know. It's huge. It was long. I was like, what the heck? And I read it, and they didn't talk about like the kind of joules. They're like, oh, this is good for a sniper. It's like, and there was like 10 different setups. It just said, this is really good for snipers. It's very accurate, and it said the brands. But it's like, how many joules? Which type of weather? Like, I have a friend who just bought the MCW, and he's running at 2.8 joules, 2.5 joules, whatever, a DMR setup. He changed it to something like some YouTuber, I don't remember, some YouTuber told him like some Maple Leaf Macron, Candy Floss, whoever the fuck knows what it was, and he changed it to that. And when it got really foggy and really cold in Denmark, it couldn't feed. It shot and it's like and the air just pissed out of the gun. When it was hot, it worked really super good, but that was when it was hot. So yeah, I think I've made my point. When you want to set up an airsoft gun, there's no golden rule of what is the best. Find out which type of weather you're playing, the BBs, which gram are you playing, joules, which hop-up system are you willing to use, which type of bucking are you planning to use, what do you want, because they all fit to different playstyles. So yeah, anyways, thank you for watching the video. I hope you learned something from this. I hope it was educational. If it was educational, feel free to check my other videos. I just did a MTW maintenance video for not so long ago. You should check that. I show completely how to take it apart. If that interests you, you should probably do that, because you'll learn something. I know you will. You cannot tell me you won't. If not, I have some bomb ass fucking gameplay. So see you next time. Have fun.